Thanks, Mike Machemehl, for joining me today and talking about one of your greatest side B legacy behaviors, and that is sincerity. And when I think of sincerity, I think of the piano. Some of the essential traits that you have are authoritative, persistent, handles conflict. Now, when I think of authoritative, and we discussed this on the Harrison survey, it does not mean that are strong-willed and you're going to be demanding. What authoritative means is that you have the willingness to take the responsibility of any decisions that you make.
Yeah, I think I've always been wired that way to take responsibility for my decisions. And I would say raised that way by my parents, especially my dad. It's just always ingrained that in us that you're responsible for the decisions you're making.
Yeah.
It's determined to a large extent how your life turns out.
It does, and the way that we decide, that the piano gets into focus, or even sincere behavior by Webster Dictionary. It really means being free of pretense, free of deceit and hypocrisy, along with the strength of making those decisions. How do you see this behavior affecting your business success?
Well, interestingly, back to another point you made earlier, you were talking about authoritative. And I think people can get that confused with authoritarian, which, is heavy handed. So authoritative and authoritarian, even though the words have the same root word, I think have pretty different meanings. So I think that, in dealing with coworkers and people that I am on a team with, I've got quite a few initiatives at work where I'm on different teams with different people. A few people overlap on multiple teams. I think just being sincere, people have an innate ability to pick up on that very quickly,
Mhm.
whether you're sincere or whether you're the opposite of sincere. I don't know what the right word for that would be, but I think once the people know that you are sincere, they know that they can trust what you say and that you're going to tell it like it is. Example of our daughter, Rachel, jokingly, she says if she really wants to know the truth of, does this hairstyle look good or something like that, she'll ask me because she knows that I'll give her an honest answer. Whereas if she asks her mom, it's always a beautiful hairstyle.
It's
So
always because that's
yeah,
her daughter.
she just laughs and says, "All right, Dad, if I need an honest answer, I can come
Yeah.
to you." So I think the same things apply at work, and people like to know that what you see is what you get, and that there's no hidden agendas,
Mhm.
uh, things like that going on that they have to be concerned about.
That brings me right into my next question for you. The pianist has the ability to show those strong behaviors, yet be sincere with the people around them. Do you find yourself treating all your customers, clients, and teams with sincerity? And how does that show up in your mind that, for not your mind, but your mindset?
Yeah, I think anytime you go into something with an attitude, a positive attitude, thinking that that I have the opportunity to work on this project and work on these people, I have the opportunity to solve this problem that that maybe not everybody can solve. I just think that's an exciting thing, rather than looking at your large projects that may take weeks or months and just either feeling overwhelmed or thinking, oh, I have to do this. And it also enables you to more quickly put together a plan to break down that large complex problem or project you're working on into smaller, more digestible pieces. And so just having that mindset and being sincere with your other teammates on their input and how the process is going to work, I think just helps it everything go a lot smoother, rather than going, oh boy, this is a big project. I don't even know where to start. Unfortunately, I have to do it because my company's, paying me to do this. Your mind's in the wrong place versus, hey, I get to do this. I get to work on this. This is exciting. Yeah, it's got some complicated moving parts, but we'll just analyze it and break it down and figure it all out and and get to it.
That's great. So, how can leaders today show more sincerity with their teams or the people they serve or just really anybody around them?
I think just by making an effort to do it, it's easy in the business world for people to not want to show all their cards when they're dealing with coworkers, their boss, their customers. Sometimes they think that they can't be very transparent because if they're too transparent, they're going to end up giving away the farm or giving away too much in negotiations and that sort of thing. So I think just going at it with the mindset of, all right, I'm going to be, maybe a little bit air towards being on the more transparent side, the more sincere side, knowing that my customer will or my coworker will pick up on that and sense that and reciprocate. And I think you can just build a relationship much quicker with those people when you take that attitude versus being just guarded about everything. Well, I can't share that. I can't play those cards. I don't want them to see my hand. Then it's more of an adversarial relationship, knowing that you might err a little bit on the side of being too transparent, and maybe that might cost you here and there. But I think in the long run, when you look at the big picture, what you'll gain in relationships will more than offset anything where you were maybe overly transparent and gave out a little bit too much information.
Awesome. You've talked to me a little bit about the difference between authoritarian and authoritative. Can you share that again?
Yeah, I think because the two words are so similar, authoritarian certainly has a negative connotation to it. It's very heavy-handed, whereas authoritative is more decisive in just making decisions and being willing to make a decision and being willing to live with whatever consequences are. And I've certainly made a lot of decisions in my life that I would like to have back or have over again. So it doesn't necessarily mean by being authoritative and willing to make a decision and live with the consequences
Mhm.
that you're always going to make the right decision.
Yeah,
It's better than going through life not willing to make a decision.
right. And that is part of this whole sincerity behavior. So I think that being one of your strong assets is really incredible. Our musical tastes begin anywhere from the age of 14 to 24, and then the music starts to trail off a little bit. Tell me what one of your favorite songs is, or your favorite song, and does it lie within that age range?
Definitely. A lot of good memories come from when you're, a preteen. You're in that 8 to 12-year-old range. You don't really have a responsibility in the world and nothing to worry about of consequence. So I go back to I don't want to date myself, but the early 70s. And my parents gave me my first record was Jim Croce. And what do they call them? Were they 45s, the individual
Yes.
songs? Yeah, gave me the 45 of
Look
the,
like this.
yes, they do. Yes. I Got a Name by Jim Croce. That was definitely my favorite song. And then the second, the only first album I got when I was young was Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. And I still, whenever I hear one of those songs, I can sing every word to every song on the
It
radio. Of
puts
course,
you right back there.
yeah, this good feeling just washes over you from a carefree time in your life.
Yeah. Well, great, Mike. Thank you so much. I can tell everyone who's watching this that you probably are the most sincere person that I know. And I really appreciate you being here with me and talking about sincerity, the pianist, and how it all relates into business for you.
Wow. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment, Paula. I appreciate that.
You are so welcome.